Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gangsters and gangsterettes, is the world's most dangerous podcast. You know what it is. Tobe Hixx, Jamal Doman in the house.
What's good?
You know, Dope Dealer Podcast, episode 58 is your boy Jamal Doman at Jamal Doman, JamalDoman.
At Tobe Hixx, TOBEHIXX.
Yeah, we might have to raise your mic a little bit, Tobe. There we go. There we go. We good? What's happening, Tobe Hixx? We here, episode 58, man. We here, dope independent music. That is a return. That is Dope Soul. They sent us another track, man. It's been a while.
Soul, huh?
Dope Soul. Yeah, that's Friends, man. That's Friends.
That's the name of it?
That's the name. Yeah,
Friends,
I
enjoyed that one. That one was nice.
Yeah,
man.
representing the 610 Norristown, PA. Shout out to Dope Soul. Please support it. Dope independent music. You know how we do, man. If you send us music, man, send it to us and we will play it, man. We will play it and give you a shout out. That's how we do, man. Episode 58. We great. Tobe Hixx, what's going on, man? How was your weekend?
Oh, it was boo. It was boo. Was out at Pachanga this weekend. America's finest casino. Yeah, it was a great time. Thanks to everybody at Pachanga, all the staff, everybody that came out to the shows. Had a wonderful time Thursday through Sunday. Shout out to, I worked with Joe Bryant. Shout out to Joe Bryant, was a consummate professional this weekend. And my Uncle Roy came out and hung out with me, so it was a real good time. It's always cool, you know, when you get to do a gig and see your family too that you ain't seen in a while.
He live around that way?
Yeah, Uncle Roy lived like 15 minutes away. Him and my Aunt Carolyn came out, and we had a good time. It was great.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, Pachanga's always at the comedy club over there is always great, man. Episode 58, Tobe.
Yeah, man, we forgot. Shout out to the troops.
Oh, yeah,
man.
definitely.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines.
Yes.
Coast Guard, National Guard, the Bloods, and the Crips.
Yes, we do this for you guys, man. We do this for you guys, man. Shout out to all our armed forces, overseas, fighting a good fight, man. We love you guys, and this podcast for you guys, man. Spread the word, man. Spread the word. We are growing and growing, so, we keep moving on up, man, and so spread the word, man. Dope Dealer Podcast, the world's most woke podcast. Today, we got a special show, Tobe, because, today's show is all about Tobe Hixx, and we're doing all his true dope stories. If you've been a regular...
We're doing a few of them.
Yeah, we're doing a few of them, yeah. If you've been a regular follower, Tobe Hixx have these incredible, true, dope stories that he tell that you can't even believe but they true. They just going on in his life and
shit happens.
Stories over his lifetime. And what happened was we've done several during the show. So if you haven't listened to every episode, you may not have gotten all. So today is the greatest hits one, some of our favorite
Volume
ones.
One of the
greatest hits, man. And also a special bonus at the end. We have a new one, a new Tobe Hixx dope
that
true story.
Happened.
Yeah, that just happened. So we're excited to hear that, man. But he, because people have been I had people, man, that, friends be like, whoa, that Tobe Hixx, man, that really happened to him, man.
Yeah, they can't believe that shit.
Yeah, man. So today, it's one of them shows, man, you get to hear all the greatest hits, man. So I know you probably maybe heard one, or if you haven't heard all 57 episodes, you haven't heard all of them, man. So which one we gonna start off with, man? Which one?
I figured we start off, I guess, with the first day I sold crack.
The first day you sold crack. Let's say that one, man. Tobe Hixx, dope true story.
Yeah, it was happened when I first came to California. I had no idea what crack was. So when I was in San Diego, I came to live with my family. So I was starting to see people that wasn't looking normal to me.
Right.
So I asked my relative, I was like, hey, man, what's wrong with these people? Why they looking like that?
Right.
And he was like, oh, them is crackheads. I was like, crackheads? What you mean crackheads? He said, oh, they on cocaine. I was like, oh, okay. So I started noticing.
What year was this?
Ah, man. Ooh. Shit. Had to be about 90. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, damn, crackheads. So I don't think too much of it or whatever. So I'm working, going to school. That's what I came from Nebraska to do. And so I'm doing that. I'm going through the process. And I'm noticing my relative, he's always dressed fresh, looking good. spending money. And so, you know, and I'm just kind of thinking like, damn, where's he getting this money from? The family was, you know, was a decent middle-class family. So, you know, at first I just thought it was just the family's money. But then I started realizing he had a little more money than someone normally would at 19 years old.
Exactly.
And he going to school too. So one day I just happened to walk into his room and unannounced just walked in accidentally. And he was counting money, and it was about $100,000 on the bed.
Ooh, God. So you walk in on
I walked in and all this money was on the bed. So I was like, damn. And I was like, now, come on, like, you know, what are you doing? And he was like, look, man, just let me tell you like this. It ain't for you, blah, blah, blah. So all I knew is he had a lot of money, and I didn't really know what it entailed, but I knew I wanted to be a part of that money. So I kept asking him like, hey, man, show me how you making all this money. And he was like, nope, I don't want you to get involved. So finally, I asked him for so many times where he got tired of it, and he was like, okay, look, I guess by this time he figured I really wanted to be down. Mm-hmm. And since I just came to town, you know, he was getting to know me or whatever and all that stuff too. So, you know, that way I know it was a trust type thing. So I finally asked him, and he was like, okay, look, I'm going to put you down. He said, how much money you got? I said, I got $25. He was like, give me your $25. I was like, well, can I give you $20 and,
right.
and keep $5? He was like, no, give me the $25. So I gave him the $25. He gave me 3 rocks. And he's like, okay, these $20 a piece. And so that's $60. So then he takes me, he said, come on. So I hop in the car with him. We roll up to Skyline Drive in San Diego. Back then, it would literally be like 30 cats on the corner selling dope. Like, it was that much money coming through that 30 people could be out there and everybody making money.
Right.
And we had the whole area flooded with drug dealers. I mean, and so my relative, he took me up there in front of Moonlight Market, and we got out, and he said to all his homeboys, he said, look, yo, this is my relative. He said, you guys keep an eye on him, don't let shit happen to him.
Right.
So he hopped in the car and leave. I'm out there with the homies, whatever. And some I knew, some I didn't. So then next thing I know, you know, we taking turns with the sales, and in like a half an hour, I done sold those 3 rocks. So now I got $60. So I hit this one you had to pay. So I paid my relative. He called the payphone back, and I was like, yo, come back up here. So then he come and he take the whole 60 and give me like $120, $130 worth of rocks. I still ain't got no cash. I'm out there. So, you know, he leave me in a situation where I got to make it work.
Right.
So I sell those, and then it ends up by the end of the day, you know, I was able to buy like 7 grams, which at that time was like $150. So I started out with $25, and then by the end of the day, I was up to $150 and had a fresh sack for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And after that, I was hooked. You couldn't tell me shit. And I made that much money in one day, and it was just an unbelievable feeling, that rush of selling that dope. And then at that time, too, selling it on the corner was even a bigger rush.
Right.
And I tell people all the time, is like, what they don't understand is that when you sold dope like that, you're just as addicted as the people that use it, because you become addicted to the money. It's the same thing. Right. I mean, just like to this day, every day, just like an addict takes every day to get, you know, to try to stay sober, clean and sober, as a drug dealer, you have to take each day one by one. Because there's been times in my life where I needed money or whatever, and I thought to myself, well, shit, I could get some cocaine and make some money, even to this day. And like, once you sell drugs, people always ask you. They never stop. Like, I can go home right now today and people will be like, you got that dope? Damn. Like, come on, man. I ain't had no dope in 20 years. Yeah. What do you mean, I got that dope?
Now, I don't know. We talked, I sold drugs for like 6 months. My cousin and them, my uncle and my cousin they had a house. They was doing real good too. The house, somebody, I don't know if the crackhead set it on fire or somebody set it on fire, but they was actually doing well. And I remember, this one, I got out of high school. I think I dropped out of Temple. So I was just trying to find myself and just trying to, and of course, you want to make some fast money. So my cousin and them, but that's when I don't know how they did it back back in, on your coast, but I know they would give you they gave me a pack, $125, and I would make, so I sell $125, I'll take 25, give it to who you selling for. So, but if, it's moving real, you make about, you make about $400 or $500 if you really out there hustling like that. And they had a house, so they was really pumping. So that was cool. That's how we used to do it. They give you a pack for $125, you bring them back $100. Whoever you was selling for, whoever was supplying you, which was my cousins and my uncle, and then I take $25. So that's how we, and we selling nickels. It was $5. So that was,
Damn.
that was my little.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of hustling there, boy. Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't that. So that y'all was a little different over there.
Oh yeah. It was a big money thing.
Well, y'all was selling wheat. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Y'all was doing wheat.
Yeah, we started off low, and then it got to be a big money thing, and it got to a point where homies would just piece up money, and buy kilos of cocaine.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. We weren't moving like that. All right. So cool.
The second true dope story is one time when I was selling dope. I remember I had a 240Z Datsun 240Z, like a 1972. It was a classic. So I had this 240Z that I loved, whatever, and so one day I went to go pick up some dope, and normally I wouldn't drive it to go get the dope or whatever, because it was just it was just so fast, and it was just it caught attention.
Right.
Look.
Yeah. So
the way it worked out, I had to go get this shit at the time I was in the car. So I go pick it up from my homie. Now I go pick up 18 ounces of crack, and I'm in my 240Z all by myself. So I leave the house, and about 3 blocks after I pick up this dope, the police get behind me. I'm like, damn.
Always a scary feeling.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, the police behind me. So then I noticed they hit the lights now. So they pulling me over. Did you
get it? You already picked up the work?
I got the 18 ounces of crack. Not just 18 ounces of cocaine. This shit already cooked up, ready to go. This is 18 ounces of crack. So when I see the lights, I immediately think, there's 3 things that go through my mind. All of a sudden, this shit happened so fast. I said to myself, because I'm in a 240Z that had 160 on the speedometer, I said to myself, do I try to run from the police with the dope? Do I get out the car and leave the dope and just try to run?
Right.
Or do I just chill? So I only had, obviously, I don't even know how many seconds, a short, like 20 seconds to think this through. And all of a sudden, in my mind, something said, just chill.
Right.
So the policeman comes up to the car. I let the window down, handed my shit, and I said, officer, what's the problem? I said, what did I do? He said, California state law regulates that you cannot have anything hanging from your rearview mirror. I had a tree air freshener hanging. He said, yeah, just take that down for me and have a good day. And he walked back and got in his car. And little did he know I had 18 ounces of crack in the car.
Wow.
But I was glad, my mind told me to chill. And I didn't look nervous, whatever. I chilled. I relaxed. I took a few deep breaths. And that's all it was.
Damn.
I was like, man, if he would have busted me that, I mean, that would have probably, at that time, that might have, 18 ounces of hard, that might have got me 15, 20 years right there.
It's funny, I got around my drug dealing days, my girlfriend at the time, she brought me this leather jacket. It was banging butter leather. And a lot of people, this leather jacket had pockets in the, I don't know if I told you this story. This leather jacket had pockets in the shoulders area. In the shoulder, it had like pockets, but it was only because it was like a kind of puffy jacket. But if you didn't know it was pockets up here, you wouldn't know. Like, obviously it's my jacket. I know it's pockets up. So I remember I had a pack, and I kept it up there, and I don't know what I was doing. I was around my neighborhood. Okay, earlier, maybe a couple hours earlier, my friend had a gun. Because my neighborhood, I lived in Hunting Park, so the park was right there. My friend had a gun. I never shot a gun before. So he had a gun. He was in the park. So I said, let me shoot. He gave it to me. I said, I've never shot. So I just shot it in the air. And that was it. I gave the gun back to him. I forgot all about it. It's 2 hours later. I guess somebody called the cops, said there's a brown, because I had a brown butter jacket. I just saw somebody in the park shooting a gun.
Man.
2 hours later, I'm in the neighborhood. I don't think nothing of it. Because I got the crack in my pocket over there. Cop roll up on me. I'm thinking, oh shit, the crack. I mean, he's like, yo, they roll up on me. They was like, keep your hands, and they pat me down. Nothing on me. I didn't know they looking for a gun. I'm like, what? So once they patted me down and saw that I had, they went through my pockets and everything. I was like, what's going on? They was like, oh, we got a call that the guy in the brown leather jacket was shooting a gun in the air in the park. I was like, that wasn't me. No, they was like, yeah, you ain't got no gun on, go and keep. So I went around up the block. So they just, they was looking for a gun. But I was so nervous.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't faint.
Yeah, I got up the block a little bit.
The way your ass is.
I got up the block a little bit. I took the pack out because I'm thinking they may roll back on me. And I remember I threw it in the bushes just for, you know what I mean? So, and I came back and got it. But I was just so shook but it was cool that they didn't know anything about these pockets. And it was just weird that the way this jacket was designed, man. So, yeah, that was my little crack stories and stuff. But I think about if they would have caught me with that crack, that thing would have followed me for my whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure has followed me my whole life.
Yeah,
shit,
so
I haven't been able to get rid of it.
I may not have been able to move out to LA or anything. So yeah, that was, and I think I stopped selling it at, tell you the truth, Tobe, I think that was maybe my last day. I think that was my lesson. Like you almost got, don't do that.
None of that shit stopped me, nothing. Close calls. I went to prison selling crack, got out and sold some more. None of that shit stopped me. But
dope, true story. Let's do some business one night. Let's do the one you and John Witherspoon got into it. The legend John Witherspoon, Pops from Friday. Tell us a story about when y'all got into it.
Oh man, that was still to this day. Well, luckily nothing else as crazy, or still to this day that is one of the most disappointing moments of my comedy career, because I had so much respect and admiration for him. And especially, not just for him, but for any elderly individual that has done what he's done and paved the way in any type of way. Or even if they haven't paved the way, just the fact that they're alive at that age.
Yeah.
So I never forget this. So one time the Improv called me, and I guess somebody canceled last minute or whatever it was. And they asked me if I wanted to feature for John Witherspoon at Ontario Improv.
Ontario Improv.
And I was like, oh, yeah, of course. So I take the date or whatever. And also at the same time, my children's mother, she's a hairstylist, and she was doing John Witherspoon's wife's hair. That's what also made this so fucked up to me. So she was doing his wife's hair. So she had mentioned before that she was doing John Witherspoon's wife hair, but there was no way for her to really at that time to try to connect me with him and work me in. It just so happened that this ended up working out from the improv aspect of it. So I go out there to work, whatever, and it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows. And so Thursday, I think we even did Sunday, but Thursday, Friday, we do the shows, everything goes fine, no problems at all. Come Saturday, first show, the place is packed. All the shows are packed.
Right. They want to see that.
Yeah, they want to see Pops.
They want to see Pops from Friday, yeah.
Don't nobody know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
So I go out there and I do my set, basically around the same set I've been doing all week. It ain't been no problem. But, the audience.
What was your interaction with him beforehand? I mean,
we was cool. Everything was fine. He was treating me with, he was letting me do what I wanted to do. And what I mean, he wasn't one of the guys like, you shouldn't be eating that much, or you shouldn't be drinking that much, or some of the stuff that people do.
Right.
That might, that happens out there. So he was cool or whatever. And everything was going great. So I go out the first show, I do my set. And when I come back, the host is out there still doing some time. And he goes, as soon as I walk back, he just attacks me. He's like, he said, nigga, he said, you did too much time out there. That's how he said it at first. And I was like, oh, Mr. Witherspoon, I said, I did too much time. I said, man, I didn't realize I did too much time. So I did the same thing I was doing. He said, I apologize. He said, you know you did too much time. And I said, okay, well, hey, I apologize. And then he was getting madder each time.
Yeah.
And then he was like, nigga, you know you did too much time. And that's when I walked out the green room, because that was the moment I almost lost it and cussed him out and said some fucked up shit and disrespected him as an elder. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't believe that he came at me like that. So I was devastated for a few minutes, man. I was like, fuck, he had me really thinking I was wrong for a moment. I said, damn, maybe I did do too much time. And for him to be this upset, I had to have done some shit that wasn't right. So the only thing that some told me to go to the sound booth and talk to the engineer.
Right.
Who was working that night. So I go over there and I said, hey, so-and-so. I said, did I did too much time on that set? He was, no, you did exactly what you were supposed to do. It was perfect. And then that's when I knew he was just upset because I had the audience laughing. Right. And I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, they didn't come to see me. This and that, they came for Bang Bang. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? And then, I'm like, and then that's when I really knew that it doesn't matter at what age, in this comedy business or entertainment business, people still have egos and they get jealous. And it's like, he acted like we was going to be going up for the same job. Yeah. Like I could take work from him.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you was just, what that's about. You was killing it.
Yeah, and he let me finish the weekend, but I never worked with him again. And yeah, that was really disappointing. I really hated that, that he did that shit.
Did you beforehand? You said your girl at the time was doing his wife's hair. Did y'all talk about that?
Yeah, she told him she told his wife that, hey, my man, he's gonna be working with your husband out in Ontario. He knew that his wife was getting her hair done.
Right.
By my ex. He knew that shit. So that's what really made it even worse. But then it's like, since then, since people have heard the story, it's come to find out that I'm not the only one he's treated like that in the past. So it wasn't just me. It's like, yeah.
I remember I worked with a comedian. I won't say his name, but he's a popular comedian. And I knew him from back in I used to book him, and back in the Mixed Nuts days, the early 2000s, when I used to book a club in the hood called Mixed Nuts Comedy Club. And one time, I'm not even gonna say this comic name, but I think you know who he is. Popular comedian now. And I remember I ran into him at the Bank of America on Lancashire. And at that time, he was, starting to bubble a little bit. He did Chelsea lately. He was like one of the regulars on there. And I was like, hey, man, he was like, he know it. Jamal, what's up?
Yeah.
I like, yo, man, congratulations on everything you got going on, man. He said, man, I said, call me, let me know if you got anything for me. He said, give me that. Mm-hmm. So, he did call me. He hit me up, and he was headlining the Ice House. So he said, you want to come open up for me or host it? I think he had me hosted. And I said, sure, I'll come out there for the weekend. So I came out there, and I remember I did the first show, and I do what I do. You know what I mean? And I just remember after the first show, he came to me and said, hey, don't do so much, not so much animation on stage, not so much energy. He was basically saying, you got too much energy. Say that for me, because I give him a lot of energy. Don't do so much energy, and don't really hype the crowd up a lot.
Oh man,
I'm the host. I thought that's what the host's supposed to do.
Yeah,
but he's running the show. I was like, sure, there ain't no thing. So I just, for the rest of the weekend, I just kind of, and I know I seen what his opener was doing, and it was just kind of like, and it was more okay. I'm just going. All right, here it goes. Knock, knock. Who's there?
Yeah,
I'm not. There's no. Hi, everybody, make some noise. How's everybody doing? Get everybody ready for great. None of that. He didn't want none of that. And I remember he didn't really let me sell product. After the show, he had his own little setup, and I was just, it is what it is. I really didn't make that much money, but it's an opportunity. It's stage time.
Yeah.
But I was just like, that's funny. So cut to maybe about a year later or a year and a half later, I run into the comic in the Improv. I run into him. And same thing. Oh, what's up? I was like, he's like, and this, I didn't even say anything. He was like, call me. You still got my number. I got some, I got some work in the area. I was like, cool. Yeah. I'm thinking the same thing as me. Oh, cool. I hit you up. So I waited a couple of days. I texted him like, hey, let me know what you got. You told me to hit you up from the Improv. I hear nothing from him. And I think I waited maybe about a week, and I texted him again like, yo, just let me know. I'm following up on you. You told me to hit you up. Didn't hear nothing. And to this day, I've never heard anything.
Wow.
And so it's weird, man, how this game is. But much success to that comic. He doing his thing. So it is what it is, man. But this game is funny, man.
Yeah. That's tough. That's why I always appreciate, Felipe Esparza for taking me out on the road and things like that, because people be acting weird, man. That's sad. I don't even understand that type of behavior.
And the comic is doing well. He's doing well. I know he's supposed to have some deals that I know is a sitcom was supposed to, but nothing happened.
Sometimes people that are doing well feel worse than people that aren't doing well.
Yeah,
I don't understand that, but it seems to be sometimes.
It's weird, man. It's weird. But you got into it with another popular comedian, Tommy Davidson.
Tell
us that story. That's one of my favorite stories, man.
That was
Tobe Hixx got into it with Tommy.
Dope story. Yeah, that was a hell of a time too, because it didn't make a lot of sense. That was another time. I guess between John Witherspoon and Tommy Davis, people that I respected for their work, that was, two of the most disappointing times. I'll never forget the situation with Tommy Davidson is that it was a guy who, a promoter that used to always do shows that, I would do shows for. And,
that's what's the name? He passed, we know, yeah. Rest in peace, yeah.
Yeah, that's why, I couldn't remember. So, my mind went blank.
Yeah.
So, the promoter would always do shows, and
he was a cool promoter. Cool as all outdoors.
He was a great promoter. He always had, nice events and shit. And, I would work for him a lot of times. And Kid, Christopher Kid Reed would work for him a lot. And so one time he had ran into this guy who, it was a white guy. It was his birthday. And he told K. Michael was the name of the promoter. He told K. Michael, hey, I want you to book a show for me. It was K. Michael.
K. Michael, that's right.
So he told K. Michael, I want you to book a show for me. And he said, I want Kid and I want Tommy Davidson. And this guy, he said he didn't care about whatever it cost him, whatever. He wanted that for his birthday and he wanted another act. So when K. Michael got Kid to host it and he got Tommy to close it, and he hit me up to open. So now I go out to Torrance and this man's birthday party, and it's a nice little spot. It's a perfect setting for comedy. You couldn't ask for a better setting. It was a small bar that held about 100 people, and the seats were all close. They were in like chairs from the PTA meetings. They had 100 of those in there, and so I get there, people are coming in, you could tell that all the 100 seats are going to be full. They're coming in. So I'm there, people they're coming in. Nobody's really saying nothing to me. So now here comes Kid and Tommy Davidson. So they come in. Now everybody's all excited. The people are taking pictures and they buying Kid and Tommy Davidson shots of Patron, and all this shit is before the show even started. They going bananas.
Right.
I'm just sitting in the corner.
Right.
Ain't nobody saying shit to me. They don't know who the fuck I am. So all of that shit's over. We finally get the show started, and so Kid goes up and he does his thing, and he brings me up, and literally the way the setup was in the club, the little stage they had made, you was literally like 2 feet in front of people. It was someone like literally, you could sit down in the person in the front row's lap. You were the stage was that close, so it was intimate. It was
intimate.
It was
I love
great.
Stages, yeah.
They couldn't put it together better. So I go up, I do my thing, I have a good set or whatever. So I get off the stage and I walk back to where Kid and Tommy is. Where now Kid heads back up. He's getting ready to head back up. Because K. Michael was kind of like hosting too. So he had went up to kind of say something or whatever. Yeah. So when I walked back there, Kid and Tommy was there. And so Tommy said, so you ain't gonna leave me nothing. And I was kind of new to certain, terminology. I didn't even realize what he meant.
Right.
He's like, so you ain't gonna leave me nothing. I didn't really think nothing of it. I thought he was kind of like joking or whatever.
Yeah.
So then he goes, so motherfucker, you wasn't gonna leave me nothing, huh?
So now, he's like in front of your face, like manned up?
Yeah, he's mad now. Now I realize he's mad. At first,
I wonder, was he high back
At first, I thought he was talking. Well, there's a chance he was high because that was a time period that at that time he was using. Plus, like I said, literally they took like 4 shots of Patron straight to the head right before and all that shit too. So now I realize he's mad. And so then now I was like, motherfucker, fuck you. And now I get mad and the kid had to separate us and the people at the party looking like, what the fuck is going on? And, because God don't like ugly, he goes up there and he literally just bombed.
Oh, shit. And
because he was so worried about what I did that he was all out of his own element. Mm-hmm. All he had to do is go up and do his thing, and it would have been perfect.
He had to go there, and all he had to do was go there and be Tommy Davidson.
That's all he had to do. It was this man's 40th birthday, I believe.
Right.
This man, he explicitly asked for Tommy Davis.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He had K. Michael go find Tommy, to get him, pay him whatever he wanted at that time for his birthday, and Tommy Davidson went up there and bombed. And it was so funny because after the show, everybody was taking pictures with me and buying me drinks.
Oh, shit.
And I could tell like he was disgusted. Like he knew he bombed everything. I mean, he like really bombed.
What did K. Michael say anything to you?
Well, later on, K. Michael was laughing about it because he was like, man, you killed it. And Tommy was mad. And, he kind of said the same thing that I was thinking. Like, if he just went up and been himself, it wouldn't have been no problem.
Yeah.
He let what I did affect him and fucked up his situation.
So what's the next legend comedian you going to get into it with?
No, that's it. I'm done with it. I mean, shit. And that just, all those types of things, though, just let you know how to treat people, in this business. And, because that shit, that wasn't even necessary.
Yeah, that wasn't necessary at all.
That's why whenever, like, if I'm closing the show, I always, like, sometimes certain comedians, if they newer to the game, they might ask a question or whatever, and I just tell them, hey, man, just do you. Whatever you do, go ahead and do it, and don't worry about nothing.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
True. The dope, Tobe Hixx, dope true story. What you got up next, man?
I'm going to tell the story of when I was robbed at gunpoint.
Oh, shit.
Back in the days, and we was so that me and my group of people that was hustling together, the crew we started making so much money and got so arrogant and just so just out of control. We had took over a whole apartment complex like New Jack City.
Like New Jack City.
Yeah,
like
we had the whole complex. Bayview Apartments in San Diego. And so motherfuckers knew to come up through there. They had tried to have security gates, but that shit didn't work. Or somebody had put something there, they rigged that shit to where people could just come through. And so motherfuckers would come get dope who didn't even live in the complex. And damn near everybody, the only motherfuckers who wasn't smoking crack cocaine in the complex was the elderly people and damn near us.
Right.
Everybody else was on dope. So it was a perfect setting. But it was so much money. Like, looking back on it now, like, we stayed in this apartment, me and my boys, we stayed there for probably a couple years. And between all of us, everybody that would come through and hustle and meet people and work the apartment complex, whatever, I know a couple million came through our apartment at that time.
Shit.
Just that, between everybody over the course of the time we was there. And we had a whole operation set up. And we was doing shit like, shit that you shouldn't have did at that time, like spend the night and shit like that and stay there for a week or whatever. We had other apartments, but that was the home base of where everything was at.
Right.
So we was there so long that, like I said, so many people knew that they could just come up there and get dope. They knew where to find us, whatever. It was just, we were blatantly obvious with the shit.
Right.
We were so arrogant. So one day we was all at the house chilling, like, because sometimes, it would be, at any given moment, it'd be two of us there to say 8 or whatever. So one day we was sitting there chilling in the middle of the day, and this girl comes by that we know.
Right.
She knocks at the door. We open the door. Now, this girl ain't been by in a long time.
Right.
And she comes and says something like, hey, I was just checking on y'all, see how y'all was doing, if y'all still was here, blah, blah, blah. She made some type of small talk that didn't really make sense.
Right.
For someone to just pop up out the blue. But we knew her, so we didn't really think nothing of it. So later on that night, it's just me and my homeboy Biz there, right? It's just me and Biz at the apartment. So in this apartment at this time, we had crack cocaine, we had money, we had scales, we had guns, we had everything.
It was the trap house.
Yeah, we had everything up in there. Now, we knew we didn't have a whole lot of everything because we knew it could get raided at any moment. But that's when we had bread, and we was like, if it get raided, we just bail out and let the lawyers figure that shit out. So we knew it was something weird about the old girl popping up, but we didn't think shit of it. So then all of a sudden, it's just me and Biz at the apartment at night, and I'm in the back.
Right.
And Biz is sitting in the front room watching TV. And so all of a sudden I hear a boom. I'm like, damn. So first thing I said, oh shit, the police about to raid. I'm like, fuck it, we ain't got that much shit here. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So then I hear another boom. Now by this time, they didn't kick the door in.
Right.
So I'm thinking it's the police. So I didn't want to come out with no gun or none of that shit because I'm like, if I come out with a weapon, then they gonna kill me.
There was no back way out?
No, there was no back way out this joint. So now all of a sudden, the motherfuckers is back in the room. So now I realize it's like 6 motherfuckers.
Shit.
They done kicked in the door. They got the gun.
Now, where's the girl at?
She wasn't there. She came. But now I realize what she did was she came by to make sure. She just came by and scoped the place out.
Okay, so
and went back and told the niggas, yeah, they there. They still in the same spot. Blah blah blah. So now they come back. They got Biz. They got the gun to his head. They like, hey, where's the dope? Where's the money? Where's the guns? They want everything right. So I'm going to grab the shit we got. So I grabbed the dope. I grabbed some money. They got guns. I mean, they got all kind of guns. It was a big motherfucker, man. He was about 6'4", 260, and he had an assault rifle wrapped around his, with the strap on like he's in the military. He had that shit with him, this and that. And so I go get the shit, and they was like, no, you guys got more, it's more dope in there than this, it's more money than this. Kill the skinny motherfucker. That motherfucker got more dope, he got more money. That skinny motherfucker's lying. So all along, we getting everything that we got to gather up.
Right.
And now, like when you being held up at gunpoint in a pad like that, you don't realize how long somebody's there. So now I realize, so they're going through the house, they're tearing up everything, they're going through all the drugs, they're just going through everything. And they parading us around with guns to our head. So now they tell us, to get naked and shit. We like, man, what the fuck? And so I never forget, I remember Biz was like, what the fuck is up with y'all? He's like, what's up with y'all blood? What the fuck is this about? And I realized that after he said blood about 4 times, the big dude said, this ain't blood, we Crips, and blah, blah, blah. And then I knew at that point that they wasn't real Crips because the first time he would have said blood, they would have done something.
Yeah,
they might have they'd have hit a motherfucker with a pistol, something, to let you know that this ain't.
Yeah.
But the reason why they didn't is because what I was realizing is that these motherfuckers knew us, and they didn't want to harm us.
Right.
They just wanted the money, the dope.
It's always
and the
inside job.
Yeah, they didn't really want to harm us. Because they could have killed us. So they made us get butt naked, get in the shower. They took all our car keys, everything, phone, everything we had, so we couldn't communicate.
Yeah.
And we was stuck. Like, we couldn't hop in a car and go out after.
Yeah. Which was smart.
And so like to this day, I mean, the motherfucker said, kill that skinny motherfucker at least 15 times.
Shit.
And so it was just God that saved my life at that point because, I mean, they literally, you know, they thought we had more shit. And I think at the time we might have had like 2 ounces of rock cocaine and maybe like $3,000, couple pistols.
Y'all didn't have y'all gave them everything y'all had.
Yeah,
y'all
we gave them
trying to hide it.
Nah, we wasn't trying to hide nothing because shit, we had major shit other places. We was trying to save our life at that point. But then, like I said, once he said that, you know, that they was Crips, and in the way he kind of said it, I knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
And like I said, these were some motherfuckers that knew us that just didn't want to harm us. They was just robbing us.
Y'all never found out who it was?
No, because they had on masks and everything. We never found out nothing. I mean, we went around and you know, trying to figure out shit, and people were saying shit, but it was just there was no way we was going to ever figure it out.
Wow, man. Have I ever been robbed? Somebody got me for my glasses. I had a pair of Alpina glasses. I don't know if they were like real expensive glasses. They was popping back in Philly. And I was down the Gallery. Gallery is basically our Beverly Center. It was like the... so I remember we down the Gallery, we catching a train, me and my cousin, rest in peace, Kenyatta. So the Gallery was connected to so you do your shit, you get girls' numbers in the Gallery, and then you can just walk like this pathway, and it's connected to the train. So you right at the train to take you back home. The subway, the underground subway. So, you know, we did our thing, and I had these Alpinas, and this was the time when motherfuckers was wilding, but I'm young, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So we on the train, and I remember the dude around me, I actually seen him. I kind of seen him in the Gallery, but I ain't think nothing of it. He followed us. He got on the train with us and everything. He timed it perfectly. So we on the train, me and Kenyatta, we sitting there, chilling. You know, we going back home. We got about 10 stops before we get, because the Gallery is downtown and we in North Philly. So it's about 7, 8 stops. And I think we got to like Broad and Cecil B. Moore. Well, this is like 3 stops before us. And I'm just chilling. I may have had a Walkman too. I may have been listening to music. And my cousin, remember the Walkman? Yeah. And I just remember a hand, feeling this hand, just like, you know, grab the glasses. At first, you know, when I thought it was my cousin playing, I'm like, give me my glasses back. And I turn around, and it's a dude. What happened was he timed it perfectly. When the doors open, he waited, because the doors are open for about 20 seconds or something. So he snatched them perfectly. Like, the nigga been doing this for a while. So he snatched them. And then he went off and by the time me and my cousin realized, so we see him and we jump up, we go out, the nigga pulled up his, had the gap.
Yeah.
So he was like, don't try it. Yeah. So at that point I was like, you can have them motherfucking glasses. I don't give a fuck about them glasses. It's more important in my life. So, the door's shut and you know what I mean?
Hey, but you know what was crazy about after we got robbed is that we didn't even move. We just went and got more dope and just kept the shop rolling like shit didn't.
Did y'all at least put some better motherfucking
we got
locks
more
on them?
yeah.
Better,
it wasn't
a better door?
No, these niggas had a batter ram. It wasn't no
nigga, they was cops probably.
No, they wasn't the cops. These was hood niggas. That's just how but that, back then that was common to bust into people's plots.
Yeah, rob the drug dealers because they ain't gonna report it to the cops.
What we gonna do? Call the police?
Yeah.
So
Philly, they used to do that.
So then we kept the house open. So another crazy ass thing that all happened in the same apartments. Everybody used to call them the blue apartments. Everybody know the blue apartments was bracking. So one night, me and my homie Kylie was there, and he stayed there at certain points of time. It was one of them houses where all the homies stayed at one point. So me and Kylie at the house. Now this time I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, and there's a knock at the door, and this girl comes over that he been fucking with. So she's like, oh, is Kylie there? And I'm like, yeah, Kylie here. So she walked back to the room, you know, and I don't think nothing of it. I just keep watching TV.
Right.
So about 10 minutes later, the girl comes storming out, and I can hear Kylie in the back like, bitch, get your ass out of here. Fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, damn, what is going on? So a girl comes out, she's crying. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I'm just sitting there tripping off this shit. So Kylie come out the back room, slam the door on the broad, and then so I was like, yo, what happened, man? And this motherfucker pulled out, he showed me a condom that he had just pulled out her pussy. She had just fucked another cat.
Still had the condom.
Still had a condom stuck in her pussy. He stuck his finger in her pussy and pulled the condom out.
Oh, that nasty bitch.
I was like, damn, I couldn't believe that shit. Oh man, we laughed so hard. I was in tears.
That nasty, filthy whore.
That was one of the wildest things I seen. Cause Kylie, he wasn't even no type to get upset. That's why when I heard the commotion, I was really shocked.
Right.
Cause I'm like, damn, what'd she do that quick to piss him off like that? I couldn't imagine what it was.
That is crazy, man. What? Let's tell one of my favorite stories. Let's keep it on the dope trap house.
Yeah.
What happened one time at the trap house with the guns?
Yeah. Okay. So, back then, at that time, you and the homies, we shared everything. We shared cars. We shared women. We shared everything. Shit. So, it was nothing, for homies to have guns, borrow guns, whatever. And at this time, I remember I had a Uzi, assault rifle with like a 64 round clip in it, whatever. So at this time I had that, and one of my homeboys, he had a 9mm handgun. Right. So he had came to me and he said, yo, some shit happened, whatever. Let me hold that Uzi you got, and you hold this 9. So I gave him the Uzi, and didn't think nothing of it, and I had his shit or whatever. So then one day, one of the other homies from another side of town comes over, and he's like, yo, man, I just got into it with these motherfuckers, man, blah, blah, blah. I need a strap, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, shit, the only thing I got here is, I got this 9 here.
Right.
And my homie was like, let me get that. So, like I said, we didn't think nothing about giving out guns or whatever. Because
that's how it was.
Yeah, and because if something happened, then, like say the gun got, I would replace it with, my homie had my Uzi. He could have just kept it. We just didn't give a fuck. So I give the other homie the 9mm, right? So then he leaves, whatever. So I don't think nothing of it. So then I hear about some other shit. So the homie that came and initially gave me the who took my Uzi, he came back and said, yo man, I just got into it with these motherfuckers, blah, 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 this and that, and they was in this whoop-de-whoop car, blah, blah, blah. I was like, damn. He said, yeah, I was gonna kill the motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, damn. So I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. So I ain't think shit of it. So maybe a few hours later, the other homie comes over to the house. Right. And he's like, yeah, man, earlier today I seen this bitch-ass motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. This and that, we almost got into it. I was going to kill this motherfucker. And then he described the car. Right. So then now it dawns on me that these two of my homeboys had got into it with each other, and they didn't even know. They weren't homeboys. They weren't homeboys. These were both my homeboys.
So you basically gave two niggas guns. They was trying to kill each other. Look, they came to you for guns. They was trying to kill each other. They had no idea.
My homeboy he came and got a gun. Basically, if he would have killed my other homie, my man would have got killed with his own gun.
That is crazy.
Out of all the motherfucking people that live in San Diego, I give two motherfuckers got guns that I'm dealing with that's my homeboys. They don't know, and they trying to kill each other. And at that time, if I remember, it was all over abroad.
Oh, shit. It's always
That's what it was about. And they was going to kill each other, and motherfucker would have got killed with his own gun.
It's always over abroad.
Yeah.
It's always... So you figured it out because they
both started describing what they had went through in the day, and I was like, hold on.
And
then I couldn't say nothing. I didn't never tell either. I didn't never tell both of them that I know both. Like, yo, I couldn't tell my homie, hey, check this out, man. The nigga that was pulled out the gun, nigga, that was your gun that he pulled out on you. I couldn't tell a nigga that.
Shit.
They might figure it out now.
If they listening,
Toby's dope true story.
If they listening, they may figure it out. That is crazy, man. That nigga almost got killed with his own gun.
Yeah.
With his own gun, man. God damn.
I got two more quick ones.
And then we got a brand new one, right?
I mean, I got one more and then the brand new.
Okay.
Because that's probably about what. Yeah. I also want to do the day that my homeboy Rich died.
Okay.
Basically, that was the time when everybody was playing Nintendo and shit like that, right?
Right.
When the video games first became pop. I mean, when the TV video games, I should say, first became popular. And what was that, Tecmo Bowl, I believe, or some shit back then?
Bowl, yeah.
Yeah. So I remember we used to play and we used to gamble and play for money. Motherfuckers would play for like $100 a game. So I remember we was at the homie Ray's crib and everybody was over there. We smoking weed, we drinking, we gambling. And I'm playing the game. And so my homeboy Rich, he talked to his girl and she said, hey, come to the pad because, I done cooked and the food to be ready. So I was kind of hungry. So I said to Rich, Rich, hey, ask her if it's enough for me to eat. Mm-hmm. And so she said, yeah, it's enough for Tobe to eat. So I was like, cool. So he was like, come on, let's go. I was in the middle of the game. I'm like, yo, man. I was like, let me finish the game and we'll go. And he's like, she said it's ready, man. I'm hungry. I was like, yo, come on, man. Wait for me. Just hold on. He's like, no, I'm going. Just come on. I said, okay, man. I'll be right there as soon as I finish this. So he leaves. So I play the game. I finish it. And now I leave. And I'm riding towards his house. He lives off of El Cajon Boulevard in San Diego. I'm rolling. And as I start to ride and get closer, I hear sirens. I don't think nothing of it, Shit's just going on. I'm riding. I'm hearing more and more sirens. I'm getting closer. As I get closer and closer, the sirens are getting louder, whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, damn, seem like they on Rich's. Seem like that's near Rich's house.
Yeah.
So I'm getting closer and closer. Now I realize I'm like, okay, look, damn, the way these lights is blinking, it's got to be his block. So I stopped like 3 blocks before I get to his street because I got in the car, I got dope, gun, money. So I leave all that shit in the car, put the gun underneath the seat, put the money, the dope, and I start walking towards his house. And so as I get closer, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is close. So I hit the corner and I can see the ambulance and all that shit in front of his house and the police or whatever. And I run up. And he's laying in the grass in the front yard.
Shit.
And so I'm like, damn. And, I realize it's bad the moment I get up there because what told me it was bad, the ambulance and shit, they wasn't really trying to do too much.
Yeah, that lets you know.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, shit. So I go over and I grind on like, damn. And so finally he dies right there. And what had happened was when he got home, the guys, they was waiting on top of the roof of the complex. So they was on the roof of the complex and they shot down. So, and then, what happened is they jumped off and then they hopped in a car and because it was an alley to his apartments. So, but basically, God saved my life. It wasn't meant for me to go because if I would have been with him, they would have killed me.
They would have got you too.
Yeah, they couldn't leave no witnesses.
On that video, man, that is, because you wanted to play the video game.
Yeah, because I played the video game. That's what saved my life. So it's been numerous times that my life has been in jeopardy.
Right.
And that kind of leads into my final true dope story of the day. This is the most recent one that didn't have nothing to do with me. This had to do with my grandmother. My grandmother is 98 years old, everybody, in Omaha, still living in her own apartment. Now, my mother lives above her, but grandma still stays by herself since grandpa passed away. My grandpa's been dead for about 1.5 years. So, during 1.5 years, obviously at 98 years old and being alone for the first time. I mean, this is literally the very first time my grandmother's ever lived alone. Because, before marriage, it was always family and living with her sisters and brothers, and they all migrated to Omaha from Mississippi, so they all had to stay with each other.
Right.
She never lived alone. So, I know I'm jumping, but this just tells how the devil still affects. That's what I want people to understand. Affects us our whole life, no matter how old we get. So when I was in high school, my grandfather was in a very bad car accident. Someone ran a red light and hit him. And this was another time my life was saved. He was going to run some errands, and he asked me if I wanted to go. And I said, no, I'm going to stay here, Grandpa. He's like, come on, boy, go with me. I said, no, I'm going to stay here. And they hit the passenger side. If I'd have been there, they'd have killed me. It'd have killed me at that, because I was young. I mean, it would have killed me.
Right.
Because it did so much damage. My grandpa was in the hospital for like 2 months. It was just a horrible situation. So he ended up being okay, obviously, and but he would go through pain because of the accident.
Right.
So he was going through pain. He told my grandmother's story and later told me a story where he was in so much pain that in his mind, a voice told him to go up on top of our house and jump down on your neck and kill yourself, and you'll die quickly and you won't be in this pain no more. He said he heard this voice tell him a whole bunch of times. He was suffering that much. But then by the time, and now picture, he lived another 30 years after this situation happened.
Mm-hmm.
So he got to where he could manage the pain or whatever, and he obviously didn't jump up. But the story was the fact that he told us, like, the devil really tried to tell me to kill myself because of the pain.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So then now fast forward to like 2 weeks ago, I'm talking to my grandmother, right? And she 98 years old, and they always explained to me how she missed Grandpa, and how she some days don't see nobody unless she walk out into the hallway. The apartments don't really talk to nobody, and she said it's lonely and everything. So she said that like about a month ago back home in Nebraska, they had a really cold stretch where it was cold for like 2 weeks. Like it was below zero. Like they had to cancel school. They tell people don't go outside.
All over the country.
It was really, really cold at that point.
In Chicago, it was like minus 14.
When it was really, really cold at that point, when they don't come outside or whatever. So now here, mind you, my 98-year-old grandmother sitting in the apartment, feeling lonely, missing Grandpa, all these different scenarios. 98 years old. She's told me that a voice came in her head and said, just walk outside and shut the door and lock it, and you'll freeze to death and you'll be out of this pain in just a few minutes. She said a voice tried to literally get her to walk outside and kill herself at 98 years old. And she started laughing and she said, Tobe, I'm trying to get to heaven. I ain't gonna let the devil, I didn't live 98 years. You think I'm gonna go to hell now?
Exactly.
Hell no. I wasn't gonna kill myself. But she said she heard a voice. But then by her telling me that lets me know that no matter how old we get, there will be voices and temptations and things that try to get us to maybe harm ourselves or do something crazy that's out of character. I mean, what would a 98-year-old woman kill herself for? I mean, unless she was in tremendous pain, but she's not. So she doesn't have a medical condition that makes her want. She just misses Grandpa and just lonely. And a voice tried to tell her to go outside and freeze herself to death.
Oh, wow. Well, good shit.
That's
good
the
thing she didn't listen to that
dope
voice.
story. Yeah, she's 98. She wasn't going to listen to that shit.
That's what's that David Arnold joke about, he should have just missed Uncle. He said, I got an uncle. He said, I shouldn't even known. I should have just missed him. When you get that age, you feel that people, God forgot about you. He said, something about he can't kill himself. It's something about all you have to do is just jump off the bed or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's dope, man. So that was, listen, ladies and gentlemen, that was Tobe Hixx. That was the greatest hits compilation of Tobe Hixx Dope True Story. We still got more. We got the wedding one.
We'll get to those. Maybe episode 110 or something.
Yeah. So we just wanted to do this episode for people who maybe not heard them all. I'm sure if you followed us, you may have heard one or two, but you haven't heard them all. Then the new one also, man. So we appreciate you guys, man. Listen, go to iTunes, rate us, subscribe to us, leave a review. If you know how we do, if you leave a dope review, take a screenshot of it, go to our Instagram page, DM us that, and we will send you a free t-shirt. You know how we do. And shout out to our sponsors. You got to go ahead. Our sponsor for the week?
Oh, our sponsor this week is AAA. Get a AAA membership. I have bundled all my shit together. My renter's insurance, my car insurance, my life insurance. And it's one more thing they got me on. But the service with AAA has really been great. Oh, yeah. And see, now I'm a gold platinum member. I can get my car towed for 100 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck the 7-mile regular shit. I'm a special motherfucker. I get 100-mile tow.
Yeah.
So when I'm out there on the road doing these gigs, they can tow me from Bakersfield instead of one night me and the homie had to catch an Uber from Bakersfield to get home when the car broke down.
What's the story?
It was $100 for the Uber.
Remember the comedian Peanut, your story that his car broke down in Vegas or one of them, and he had no money. He had to stay. He basically had to stay in Vegas for 6 months.
Yeah, it's like, motherfucker,
he did a show. He went over. He drove his car to do a show. His car broke down. So basically, he moved to Vegas for 6 months because he couldn't get no money until he got enough money to get his car back to L.A. That was a true story.
Yeah. So, hey, so AAA. Yeah, AAA, get yourself a membership, and it's very economical. And that way, even if you got a new car, it's best to have that shit. Like, see, I actually had it for a couple years, and a friend needed to get a car towed. I was like, hey, I'll use my AAA for you, baby, because I'm a player like that. AAA.
Dope. You know how we do, man. Shout out to also one of our sponsors, Doman Cheap Movers, the #1 moving company in San Fernando Valley, Doman Cheap Movers. What you got anything coming up, Toby?
Hey, to my people in the Bay Area, save this date. April 16th, I will be at the Throckmorton Theater. And April 18th, I'll be at Laughs Unlimited in Sacramento.
Yeah, definitely. Check me out. April 27th, I'm having my 20-year in LA comedy show. I'm putting it together. April 27th, I'm having 20 years in LA.
Thanks for telling me, man.
Yeah, I'm putting it together right now, and I'm putting it together. So look out for that as we get more, and I'll give you guys the details, man. But listen,
hey, we got to go. You got to have some April 20th. You better have some weed for the people.
That's right. Yeah. And we got a phone number you can call if you want to talk to us.
818-335-2065.
One more time.
818-335-2065.
Follow us on Instagram, Dope Dealers Podcast, Dope Dealers, that's with an S. And follow us on Twitter, Dope Dealers Podcast. Follow me on Instagram at Jamal Doman, JamalDoman.
At Tobe Hixx, TOBEHIXX.
Shout out to everybody at Comedy Pop-Up. Paul, our engineer, we love you guys. We out.
Dope.
Emotions running too deep from drowning in your pussy. Your loving will consume me, so I hope you will excuse me on the real. Fuck that nigga, cause I spoke him like a Lucy. Oh, baby, why you had to do me like that? Oh, baby, why you had to do me like that? But you and Betsy, man, girl, I don't understand. That wasn't part of the plan, that wasn't part of the